So if you're planning to move to the Atlanta, Georgia area and you have children or you're planning to start a family, there are probably some really important questions that you need answers to. In this video, we're going to go over the most important information you must know if you're raising children in Atlanta. Coming up right now. Hey everyone, welcome back to Living in Atlanta. My name is Mark. I'm a real estate agent and leader of the Living in Atlanta team here in Atlanta, Georgia. And this channel is all about helping you get to know what it's like to live in the Atlanta, Georgia area. So today we're going to be talking about raising children in the Atlanta, Georgia area. There is a lot of information out there, and if you've never been to Atlanta, if you haven't spent a lot of time in the area, it can be really confusing about what information to believe, whether it comes from the internet or if it comes from one of your friends or someone who just has an opinion. So we're going to go over today what I think are the most important things you must know if you're raising children in the Atlanta, Georgia area. I am going to give you 5 neighborhoods that I think are some of the best neighborhoods you could possibly raise a family in. I am going to give you counties with the best public schools. I am going to give you some amazing things to do around the city, and make sure you stay tuned to the end of the video because I am going to give you the best, most reliable resources for you to get factual information. I'm not talking about niche.com. I'm talking about government websites, real websites in Atlanta that will help give you real statistical information to find the best place for you to live. So let's get right into it. Everything you need to know about raising children in Atlanta, Georgia. Hey, real quick, before we get into this topic, make sure you're going through our old videos, okay? I have been making videos now going on 3 years, and I have put a ton of great information out there, if I do say so myself. So if this is your first time to my channel, or the first or second video you're watching, make sure you go to my page and look at the playlists. I have a vlog tour for almost every neighborhood in Atlanta, telling you everything you need to know. I have videos about almost every topic you can think of related to moving to Atlanta, buying a home in Atlanta, things to do in Atlanta, and just generally anything you need to know about living here. So I just want to make sure you're getting the most out of this channel. Make sure you go back and watch all those videos. And like always, if you are looking to buy or sell home anywhere in the Atlanta area, we make these videos so that you will reach out to us. All our information is in the description below. All right, so if you are planning to raise a family in the Atlanta, Georgia area, there are some very common things that you are probably very concerned with. Number one, you need a safe area. You don't want to live in an area where you're concerned about it being dangerous or there being drug activity. You want your children to grow up in a safe environment. And of course, you want good schools, whether those are the public schools or private schools available or even a charter school. But if you're raising kids, obviously you want them to have access to great education. Additionally, you need to have great family activities, right? You need to have things to occupy you and your family, things for you guys to do on the weekends, and just part of a healthy atmosphere is things to do. So you want to be in an area where there's lots of great amenities at your fingertips. And finally, if you're raising a family here, you probably want a sense of community. You want to be around other families. You want to be around people that you feel comfortable with, people that you feel comfortable with your children growing up around. So you want to make sure you have a good sense of community. So what we're going to do now is I am going to give you 5 neighborhoods that I think are exceptional to raise a family in. Now, of course, there are plenty of other great neighborhoods to raise families in, but these 5 in particular check all of the boxes that I just mentioned. So I'm going to tell you these neighborhoods and give you just a little bit of information about them so that you can look them up on your own. Then after that, I'm going to talk about some of the best counties all around Georgia for public schools. We're going to talk about some of the best things to do in and around the Atlanta area. I'm going to get into daycare, some things you need to know about that. And then, like I said, at the end of the video, I'm going to give you my best, most reliable resources for you to do your own research on whatever topic you need. So let's get into it. My 5 favorite neighborhoods in and around Atlanta to raise a family. This is in no particular order. And what I did with this list right? Because Atlanta's a big place, there's lots of great places to live, is I chose one location in the city, I chose a location south of the city, west of the city, north of the city, and kind of northwest of the city. So I'm trying to cover a general area. These are some of the best neighborhoods to look out for, no matter where around Atlanta you're going to be. Hopefully one of these is close to where you need to be. All right, so number one, I have the city of Decatur. You've heard me talk about it before. Again, I have a full vlog tour if you want to know more, but if you're living in the city, if you're working in the city, or you just want to live in the city, you want your kids to grow up in the city. And when I say in the city, let's not get technical. I mean inside of the perimeter, because we are talking about the city of Decatur, not the city of Atlanta. But for practical purposes, you're going to be in the city. You're going to be in the perimeter. You're going to be close to downtown. It's going to be city living. But the city of Decatur, unlike most of the other areas inside the perimeter, has exceptional public schools. And in addition to having exceptional public schools, if you drive around downtown Decatur, you will see why it's such a great place to raise children. You know, there are kids out and about walking from school in Decatur. There are families out and about. There are so many fun, exceptional things to do in Decatur Square in downtown Decatur. It's a safe area. It's an area with a lot of families, a lot of history. It's gorgeous and green like most of Atlanta is. And it's also got a very tight-knit community in this area. Everyone's very proud to live in this area. So this location really checks all the boxes. If you need to be inside the perimeter, this is a more expensive area, but if you're less concerned with budget, my number one choice to raise a family inside the perimeter would be the city of Decatur. All right, number two, we are going north of the perimeter, specifically to the northeast, and I have Sewanee. Again, you've heard me talk about it. I have a full vlog tour of Sewanee in my playlist, but this is one of the most family-focused suburbs of Atlanta. You know, the city focused a lot of its resources to be a great place to raise kids. There's an amazing downtown green space, a huge green space with an amphitheater, playground. There are retail shops in this location. So there is a lot of amenities in Sewanee that really had kids and families in mind. And in addition, a lot of green spaces around here, a lot of great trails that you can enjoy. So a lot of great outdoor activities that the whole family can enjoy. The schools are really good in Sewanee. It's extremely safe. It's still an easy commute into the city. If you do work ITP, it's not too far. And again, it does have a great sense of community. So if you want to be to the northeast side of the perimeter, I would definitely recommend Sewanee. All right, at number three, and again, this is not in any particular order, I have Fayetteville. Now, if you need to be south of the perimeter, if maybe you need to be closer to the airport, or maybe you just want a more rural area, Fayetteville is a fantastic place to raise a family that really doesn't get talked a lot about. And it's about, 40 minutes south of the city, 35, 40 minutes depending on traffic. Fantastic schools, extremely safe. Fayetteville and Peachtree City are both great places to live, but I think Fayetteville is even more family oriented. There's plenty of things to do. There's all the amenities that you would need, a tight-knit community. Again, an easy commute into the city if you do need to do a date night or if you are commuting for work into the city, but great value here too, okay? Everyone's so focused on North Atlanta. The areas in south of the perimeter have great value. You don't have to break the bank to buy a home in Fayetteville. It's an area you can get maybe a larger house and a larger plot of land for your budget than you would otherwise in another part of the city. So definitely check out Fayetteville if you're open to living south of Atlanta. All right, coming in at number 4, I have Roswell. Now, Roswell might not make most of the list that you would see, but I really love it, and I get a great family-friendly vibe every time I spend time there or drive through it, okay? It's directly north of the city. It's a good in-between. You're not really in the suburbs. It's kind of like an in-between between living in the city and living in the suburbs. Very easy access into town. Plenty to do, and this is a very nature-focused area. You got the river, you get the access to the Chattahoochee River right in Roswell, Chattahoochee Trail Nature Preserve, lots of trails, lots of hiking in this area. So if you're an outdoor-focused family, I would definitely look at Roswell. Now, the public schools here aren't always as good. It's going to come down to the exact location. It might be an area where you have to look at a charter or private school option, but really strong sense of community, a lot of fantastic things to do. So I think this is a great option for people who want to be really close to Atlanta but need a little bit of separation from it. All right, the fifth and final neighborhood that I have for the best locations to raise a child around Atlanta is Woodstock. Now, Woodstock is a little bit further north and to the west of Atlanta. This is going to be closer to 50 minutes, maybe an hour away, depending where you're talking, depending on traffic, in Cherokee County, which has fantastic public schools. And this is a little bit more of a small town, maybe a slightly more rural. It does have a really fun downtown area, so there is plenty to do there, but it's consistently rated in a lot of lists as one of the top places to raise a family, not only in Georgia, but in the entire country. So I had to put Woodstock on there. So we got City of Decatur, Sewanee, Fayetteville, Roswell, and Woodstock. These are all neighborhoods that if you're looking for a location to live around Atlanta and you have kids, if you have a family, these are the neighborhoods that you need to look at first. All right, so those are my top 5 recommendations for the best neighborhoods. Let's just run through some more general information. So when you're looking at counties, again, we're focused on the best public schools. You just want to know generally what are the counties that typically have the best public schools. So Cherokee County, that's to the north. Cobb County, that's to the northwest. Gwinnett County, that's to the northeast. Forsyth County, that's to the north. Beaufort City, okay, that's a little bit further north. That's about an hour and change north. That's really close to Lake Lanier. Consistently the top rated public schools in the entire state. And Fayette County, that's to the south. That's Fayetteville, like we were talking about earlier. So Cherokee, Cobb, Gwinnett, Forsyth, Beaufort, and Fayette County. These are the counties in Georgia with the best public schools. Now, there are other counties in Georgia with great public schools, but these are all pretty close to Atlanta. We're not going to be talking about areas that are 3, 4, 5, 6 hours away from the city. Now, on the topic of schools, of course, most of you are going to want a great public school option, but we do have charter schools here like many other states do. This is going to depend on your address. Oftentimes, there is a lottery for the charter school, depending on how in demand it is. Very often, it is a tuition-free charter school. So we do have that options, but that is going to be very specific to where you end up living. And of course, we have private school options. I like to bring this up to people. A lot of people don't think they have the funds for private school, but if you're coming from a more expensive market, a city on one of the coasts, I've had a lot of clients be very surprised at the affordability of private school. I've seen as low as $8,000, $9,000, $10,000 a year for private school, even cheaper in some instances. And of course, you got the private schools that go up to, $20,000+ a year. But if you have to be in an area where the public schools aren't so great and you didn't even think of private school, I would think about it. I would check it out. It might be closer to your budget than you realize. All right, let's keep it moving. Let's just talk generally about what are the things to do when you have a family in and around Atlanta. You want to get a sense for what are the activities that I'm going to be doing with my families on the weekends or that my kids are going to be out and about enjoying. So obviously we're a city and a forest. A lot of parks, okay? A lot of parks, a lot of green spaces, a lot of hiking trails, a lot of mountains and rivers, Atlanta Botanical Gardens, parks, Piedmont Park, Grant Park. I mean, there's endless amount of parks. A lot of outdoor activities that you will probably be doing. The Chattahoochee River, like I said, if you're in Roswell or if you're anywhere around the city, the Chattahoochee is absolutely huge. So very easy to float down the Chattahoochee or just dip your toes in the water. Plenty of great rivers. So you're going to be outdoors a lot of the time. More traditional activities. We have a fantastic zoo, the Atlanta Zoo, which is in Grant Park, which is close to downtown. That's also next to Grant Park, so you can make a great day of it with the family. There's things like Sky Zone, we had Trampoline Park, and Stone Summit. If you've got a little climber and you want to climb indoors, there is a Stone Summit around Atlanta. Check it out. And another one I'll mention here is apple picking around fall time. Definitely go up to North Georgia. There are some fantastic apple orchards and place to do things like hay rides. So of course there's a million other great family activities, but I just wanted to touch on some of the most popular ones that come to mind when I think about kid-friendly activities in and around Atlanta. Oh, and I almost forgot, I do want to mention daycare, okay? I'm sure you probably are curious, what is daycare going to cost you? I would say on average, through my research, you're looking at a weekly rate of about $180 for daycare. Now, obviously, daycare gets a little bit more expensive if you have a toddler, or an infant, but for that, 4 to 6 range, from what I've seen, it's going to be about $180 a week. So hopefully that's well within your budget, but that's what you're going to be planning for daycare. All right, and finally, let's get into my best resources for parents. Now, I gotta be honest, I'm not a huge fan of the aggregator websites like niche.com or greatschools.com. You know the sites that I'm talking about. They take information from a lot of different sources, but the problem is they have their own algorithm for how they come up with a grade or a 1 through 10 number. And there can be biases built into those websites. And at the end of the day, you don't really know how they came to that conclusion. So these sites are a little different. I'm going to give you some government sites and some sites that I think have some really strong, reliable information for you to do research on your own. All right, so my first great resource for you is schoolgrades.georgia.gov. Now, this is a government website where you can type in the school name or school district and get Georgia's actual opinion of the letter grade for that school or district. So this is a little bit more reliable, in my opinion, than something like niche.com. This is based on actual statistics and an algorithm created by the state of Georgia instead of some random website. So schoolgrades.georgia.gov is a fantastic place. If you're not sure about a school, if you're not sure about a district, you type it in, you will get a grade, and that is a great place for information. Number 2 is atlantapd.org. Now, this is definitely going to be for folks who are more ITP, but again, this is for actual crime statistics. If you're looking to move inside the perimeter, you want to know what types of crime happen in a certain area and how often they happen. This is actually a pretty robust portal. You can type in a neighborhood and get all the crime types and the location of that crime. There is a map. There's kind of like a heat map with different types of crime that's interactive that you can use. So this is very valuable information, really only for the city of Atlanta, but if you are going to be living in the city and you want crime stats, this is your place to go. All right, the next one is another government website, decal.ga.gov. This is the Georgia Department of Early Care and Learning. This is going to be a great resource if you have a younger child that needs to be in daycare, they need to be in pre-K or kindergarten. This offers recommendation and referrals. It gives you information about the available programs. It tells you information about the teachers and different support that you can get from the government. So decal.ga.gov, fantastic place if you're concerned about early learning and early daycare for your child. And my last great resource recommendation, I just came upon this one the other day, and it's atlantaparent.com. Now, this isn't a government website, but you really don't need it to pull any kind of data. This is a website that's a great resource for things to do. This has calendar for pretty much every family-related event in and around Atlanta that you can think of. So there's a section for things to do. There's a section with articles about education. So there is a lot of great contributions and information related to school. There's a section about travel. There's a section about, specifically if you have a baby. There's directories. There's a calendar. There's camps. There's a magazine. So this isn't really for statistics, but I think this is a great resource. If you just need more information, check out atlantaparent.com. All right, y'all. So there you have it. This is some of my best information and resources in regards to raising children in and around the Atlanta area. I really hope this provided you with some value, an idea of what direction to go to, an idea of what neighborhoods to look at if you are raising a family here. Atlanta is a fantastic place. In and around Atlanta is a fantastic place to raise a family. So hope you like that. Like I said at the beginning of the video, make sure you use my channel as a resource. There is so much information there that is still really relevant, from the vlog tours to the budget tours to the talking head videos talking about different topics that are relevant to families, relevant to really anyone living around Atlanta. So really appreciate you watching. Please make sure you like and subscribe. And as usual, make sure you reach out. If you click in the link in the description below, you can book a Zoom call with us. You can call, text, email, whatever you want to do. But we love when our viewers reach out. So until our next video, I'll see you next time.